everyone, I'm Cyndee Whitney, welcoming you to Discovering Laguna Woods. Today we're going to be meeting with two outdoor enthusiasts. You might say one of them spends a lot of time weeding and one of them spends a lot of time walking, because we're going to be meeting with accomplished gardener Claudia Myz and avid hiker and nature photographer Joel Sigman. So stay right there. I'm pretty sure you'll want to see the rest of this show. So stay there and we'll be right back. So now I'm in the garden plot of Claudia Myz, and here she is now, Miss Claudia Myz. How are you, Claudia?
Hi, I'm good, Cyndee. Thanks so much for coming.
It is my pleasure. Now, as you know, we did this 2 years ago during a September-October show because we were showing your fall garden, and now we're doing, what would you call this season?
Oh, well, it's a transitional. I'm not sure with climate change. You never know what you're going to be getting.
Well,
but I'm trying to make it for spring.
Right.
But it gets so cold, you know, I'm not doing my tomatoes yet. I'm going to wait till it warms up a little more because the soil is still cold.
Okay. So I was thinking that then we would do one later on in the summer to do sort of a harvest show to show basically some basic seasons of a garden, a vegetable garden.
Yes, yes. That would be a good time to come back.
Okay.
I'll have lots of goodies.
Okay, so now I know that I've been here a few minutes and you haven't stopped bending over and picking things up for 1 second while I've been, it takes a lot of tending, doesn't it?
It does, it does. It's like a new every, yes, I come every, well, when it's not raining, I come on the days it's not raining lately and tend to it.
Well, you know, I'm curious. We have had some unusual weather, which is a lot of rain. And tell me, have you had that happen before with this garden? And what is that? How does that change things?
I have never seen it this wet before, and I've had the garden I think about 13 years maybe now. But I just have to watch to make sure it doesn't get too wet, because like the onions, they don't like too wet, you know, to be too wet. But my soil is good and it drains fast, it drains well. So that's the key to keeping stuff alive, you know.
Yeah, and I've heard that plants do better with actual rainwater than water that we put on them from a faucet. Yeah. So is that playing out here?
Yes, yes. I haven't had to use the hose hardly at all.
That's nice too. The water conservation aspect of having a lot of rain is a good thing. Right. So what have you, what's coming up from before and what's newly planted here? Can you talk about that?
We had the onions before. I've just have planted leeks this year for the first time, and I'm experimenting with them. I haven't done research yet to see when I'm supposed to harvest those, but I will get around to that. Okay.
How important is research in the pre-planting process?
Well, I do a lot of reading. I go to a lot of lectures held by master gardeners, you know. They're around the area. I'm trying to think where I just had one. Irvine has a lot of that, lectures, which is very good to know, you know.
Yeah. That's wonderful. I was completely unaware of that. So your advice to somebody, they're thinking, oh, I'd like to have a garden, even if I'd like to start with a small one. How do I start? So you're saying learn a lot about it.
Yeah, get books, beginner gardening books, go to some lectures, and just talk to people who already are gardening, and you'll get a lot of tips from them, you know.
And I asked you where, because you said I planted those and they're obviously full grown. Where did you buy these vegetables? And you told me there were a couple places.
Yes, I like to go to Green Thumb, and that's in the area, real close. If I want something very unusual, like rhubarb, which is hard to find, I go to Rogers Gardens in Corona Del Mar. They have a great selection. And you can have lunch there, too, while you're at it.
You can have a good time at Rogers Gardens. The rhubarb is just sort of an incidental thing.
Right. I think I need rhubarb, so I'll go to Rogers Gardens.
Right. Yeah. I'll go with you. I don't even need rhubarb.
Great, Cyndee. Great. Yeah.
Well, okay. So,
what else do we have?
yeah. What else? Yes. Let's look at some of the other things you have. Let's see if we can
Well, I've
move
just
around.
planted. I always have the Swiss chard and the beets, and I have, because of the rain, I have a lot of celery that has come up in the aisleways also. So I'm just going to leave them there because they're perfect.
Now, I'm really showing my ignorance to gardening because you're pointing to something that you're saying is celery, and I say, no, that's cilantro.
It's
So,
similar. It's
I have
very
no
similar.
idea what the top of something looks like.
It's similar, Cyndee, but you can taste it. You know cilantro if you eat it.
Yes,
You know,
yes.
that's celery.
Okay.
Yeah. And
right.
over here, I've just have planted spinach. Gonna try.
Are those the little ones?
Yeah, the little ones right here in front, and then the
Okay.
back are pole beans.
And you've got the pole set up, the trellis.
Yes,
serving
yes,
as a
yeah,
pole.
and they will go up and save a lot of space for something else because they're not coming this way.
Yes.
And I haven't put stuff here yet. It takes time.
Yes. And what would be the growing period of some of these? Is it pretty much the same, or do they reach their peak and need to be picked at different times?
Well, I would say maybe a month and a half, maybe, yeah, to be really up there so you can get a decent sized dinner plate full.
Right.
But you just kind of play it by ear. You learned how to pick it when you know it's ready to be picked. you know.
Sure. I know that you were telling me that you were kind of sad not too long ago because you hadn't been able to harvest anything and you were having to eat normal food.
I had to go to the grocery store.
Right. Yeah. And it didn't taste the same, did it?
No, it did not. Yeah, I can't wait to put my tomatoes in the ground. I have a little one right here that came up by himself. I did not plant him, but so I'll keep him. He looks healthy.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'll put some more in when it warms up a little more.
I see. So now you also have mentioned in conversations that you feel very healthy by eating this food most of the time.
Right.
So
Really all of the time for me. That's what my doctors tell me anyway. They said, whatever you're doing, keep doing it.
Right. Right.
The numbers are good.
Right. So you're basically living off of this garden, the vegetables that you eat.
Yes, I would love to have a chicken in here for fresh eggs, but that's a no. It's a no.
I was thinking maybe potatoes, but you want a chicken, so.
Yeah, I grew potatoes once. I could do it again, but they take up, I had them in this box right here, and they take up a lot of room. So, and I feel potatoes are kind of inexpensive, so I'll buy those.
That's true.
You know.
That's true. Yep. But these are vitamin rich and they're completely organic.
Yes, especially if you eat them right after you've picked them. You get the most vitamins out of your produce.
Well, any advice that you have to somebody that's saying, I think I'd like to do that. I know that they have to come in and get information, and we're going to show the little house, the little red house.
Yes, you have to get on the waiting list. I'm sure there's a waiting list. But people that come in, they're real excited to start gardening, and all of a sudden they realize, ooh, this is work,
Yes.
And so they'll let it go, and then it'll go to the next person in line waiting.
So they need to be realistic about what it involves, and they need to talk to somebody here. Not only do your research about plants, but you need to find out what you have to put into it. Well,
Right.
Claudia, I can't thank you enough for letting us invade your garden once again, and we're coming back for the harvest a little bit later on,
yes.
and I'll be over here. I weeded with you a couple of weeks ago, and I
Yes.
had the most fun, and I want to please allow me to come back.
I will, because as you see, there's a few weeds that have come up because of the rain.
Yeah,
You
it's really a cool thing to do, get your hands in dirt. So I thank you so much, and we will be right back. So hello everyone, I'm standing here now with Joel Sigman, and Joel is here from the Hikers Club, and I want to welcome you today, Joel. How are you?
I'm doing wonderful, thank you.
It's a beautiful day, isn't it?
Yes, like always here in Laguna Woods.
Yeah, you're a fan of Laguna Woods too, right?
Yes.
Yes, me too. Well, I first met you a couple of weeks ago. Out of curiosity, I came over here. This is Clubhouse 1, and I came over here because I was interested in knowing more about the Hikers Club, and someone said, oh, you need to talk with Joel because not only is he an avid hiker, but he's also a nature photographer. Tell me a little bit about when you joined the Hikers Club and why you like it.
So I joined about 2 years ago. Friends of mine said, "Oh, Joel, you need to come over and start exercising with us. It's a lot of fun." But I found that the people are the best part of the Hikers Club. We're all great friends now. Usually 30 to 50 of us go out every week. There's so many beautiful parks in Orange County that we pick a different park each week. And whether it's at the ocean and in the hills, just around Laguna Woods, if it's drizzling or something, people don't want to go up in the hills, so we'll just hike around the Serpentine Trail or Alicia Park or something like that.
Well, I think that's wonderful to hear all of that. It's really incredible to realize that that's here and available to everyone. But I want to reach out to some people that may not know about it or may be a little cautious about. Some people think when you say hike, they think a trek or they think an ascent of some sort. So can you let them know what to expect if they show up to go on one of these hikes?
Yes. So it's more of a stroll.
Okay. Okay, I'll sign up for that.
Some people are gung-ho and they want to, march along as fast as they can. But other people just want to stroll and talk. So depending on how big the crowd is, sometimes we'll actually split up into two groups, a fast group and a slow group. And that way people don't get lost or things like that.
Oh, yes,
So most of our hikes are flat, maybe a slight incline. So it's very easy hike.
Now, you told me that in the Globe newspaper, and I have a copy of the Globe with me, and I circled the Hikers Club on it. It's under Club News, so it's in there every week.
Right.
You say that there is a little bit of a preview of the hike that you could expect if you come over, and anybody can come over on Saturday morning, is that right?
That's right.
Okay, so they come over and they have some pre-understanding of what the hike is going to be like because they've read it in the Globe.
Right.
Okay.
So, in the Globe, we mention how far away it is, how far you have to drive, and then also how long the hike is. Most of our hikes are out and back, so if you're starting to get tired, you just sit or stop, and then we'll pick you up on the way back.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah.
And now you say drive. Some of the hikes actually are around us here. You said there was a lake that we are adjacent to.
Right.
But most of them you have to drive to. What would be an example of a drive-to hike?
Like Balboa Island or Irvine Regional Park, Barbara's Lake, which is next to Laguna Woods. Even though it's next to us, we can't climb the fence, so it's a couple of mile drive. But there's so many parks, that are close by.
Yes. Well, it's funny. I was talking to you before. I said I have neighbors that really need to learn about this because I see them walk. They walk up one street, then they walk down the next street, then they walk another street, because that's their routine walk, and they know the distance and they know the complexity, or that's going to be fine. But to do something a little bit more imaginative or get you out of that sort of routine, that would be good for them. Do you think?
Oh, excellent idea.
Yeah.
Both the social isolation. You're here. You become friends with people. So you see them every week, you talk about your grandkids or whatever, but you're also out in nature.
Yes.
And even though Laguna Woods is beautiful, being out in nature with a lot of our hikes are around bodies of water, whether it's rivers, streams, or lakes, and it's just a beautiful way to spend the morning.
And I have to tell you, you sent me some photos, and there were a couple of them that were regarding the eclipse. And I thought, I stood out there and watched the eclipse all by myself with my little camera, and I thought, this would be so much more fun with a group of people, and you did that.
Right. Well, I'm also in the astronomy club.
Oh.
So they were all looking to me to tell them when it was happening, where it was, all that kind of stuff. So luckily that day was kind of overcast. So we were kind of able to look at the sun. Normally you should not look at the sun.
No.
But some of the pictures I sent you are all of us with our cameras pointed up at the sun, which normally you can't do.
No, I know. I thought that was so impressive, and I just thought, boy, this was a great way to see that event. So, and I did, when I came here that morning, I knew several people in the Hikers Club. I didn't know they were in the club. And other people were telling me, all my lifelong friends I met through the Hikers Club. That's pretty impressive.
That is.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had romances.
Oh, my. Really?
Yes.
So the Hikers/dating club?
Well, that's not the intention.
No,
but,
no, I know.
but it's a great way to meet people. I mean, it's very easy to just walk along. You know, if somebody's walking by themselves, you go up and say hello.
Sure.
And you start talking, you know, how long have you lived in the village? Where are you from? All that kind of stuff. And you start a friendship and potentially a romance.
Yes, and you know, if you're just walking down the sidewalk in Laguna Woods, you're less likely to walk past someone and say, "Hey, by the way, do you want to strike up a conversation?" It's not a natural thing to do. But in the constraints of the Hikers Club, it's very easy to do that.
Oh yes,
Yeah.
yeah, because everybody's there to have a good time.
Yeah, you already have an established mutual interest too.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
And you can talk about what's happening, and then you know there's going to be a termination to this conversation
Right.
because you're going to go back to your car.
Right. Yeah. So if it's boring or you don't like the person,
Say, I'm going to go talk to somebody else.
Yep.
No,
Right.
no, I'm sure everybody looked like they were really looking forward to it, and they were heading out. I don't know where you were heading out to 2 weeks ago, but that looked like it was going to be
I
fun.
think that was the Irvine Regional Park.
Okay. And also there's food involved too. I noticed that sometimes you stop and you eat something on your hike. Is that
Right.
correct? Okay.
So we usually get a larger crowd. Soka University, I don't know if you've ever been there,
Yes, sure.
but it's a beautiful
Yes.
place, beautiful view. And because they have a nice bistro, they give us a discount.
Nice.
So we get a senior discount there, and we get our largest crowds when we go to Soka for a walk and brunch.
Well, Joel Sigman, I want to thank you so much for joining me today and telling us a whole lot more about the Hikers Club. It sounds like a fantastic club to belong to, and it's so doable and it's so much fun. So I hope that a lot of people reach out. We're going to put Sharon's name on the screen so they can contact Sharon and get more information, and she'll tell them about the club and where you're going that week.
Oh, and also we have a website that tells you exactly where we're hiking.
And we'll
every
put
week.
that on there too.
Great.
Okay, thank you so much, Joel. And we will be right back. Well, thank you for joining us today. We hope that you enjoyed the show. We learned a lot about tending and caring for a garden from Claudia Myz. And we hope that you will consider taking a hike with the Hikers Club with Joel Sigman and the rest of the hikers. So thank you for watching us on Wednesday and Sunday mornings at 9:30 a.m. on Village Television, and you can watch us anytime you want on Village Television YouTube. So take good care of yourselves and everybody around you. We all need good care. And we'll see you this time and every time on Discovering Laguna Woods. Bye for now.